What inspired you to start dancing? Did you start as a child?
I started at 6. My mom got really sick, and so we used to all of the kids, because there were 4 of us, and so we all stopped all of our lessons. And then at 10, I asked to go back. I was taking piano at the time, and I said, you know what? Really didn't like piano. I said, Mom, can I take ballet? And she said, well, you can't take both. And so it was a no-brainer. So the formality of all things appealed to me. The predictability of what came next. I loved that as a kid.
Did you feel like dancing came natural to you, or was it something that you really had to work at?
People hate me, yes, it came very naturally. I had a natural body type, I had a natural physique. I had pretty much the ideal body for ballet. And I was told every step of the way, don't let her quit, don't let her, they were telling my mom, don't let her quit, she's got something there.
And you danced through college, or what did you do after high school?
I danced from the age of 10 all the way through 18. At 18, our semi-professional company went professional. I was just swept along, so I went professional at 18. My mom is an educator, so college was not an option. I went to college in my freshman year. I ended up with a 1.9 GPA, at which point I looked at my parents and said, perhaps college right now is not the best and most effective use of your money. So then I went off and danced professionally for a couple of years, and then ultimately came back.
What was your favorite part of dancing professionally? I know you did Disney, I think you told me. Or...
Yeah, I have a diverse professional background. There are the dramatic roles. Disney was fun. And I also did Sesame Street Live. I was Grover. And that was fun, but I loved the ballets that allowed me to be dramatic and expressive, psychological thrillers. We did one called, and it escapes me, but it's based on the House of Bernarda Alba, that beautiful play. And I was one of the sisters, and the sisters are in this very oppressive household, and so we had to have these characters that reflected that. It was so much fun. So I love those, or the big body characters, the saucy waitresses, and grandmother and Nutcracker, always a lot of fun.
And so how did you transition from being a professional dancer to teaching?
My master's degree, really. Right after my undergraduate degree, I went and danced for Disney. And, well, actually, I danced for Disney and Sesame Street Live, and then I came back to college. No, wait, hang on, I've got the timeline wrong. I went off, I danced professionally, I came back to college. My first job out of college was Disney, and then decided, I've got the timeline all wrong, hang on. Yeah, I did Disney, and then I did Sesame Street Live, and then on my tour, that's it, on my tour to Sesame Street Live, I stopped at the University of Iowa and auditioned for their master's program. And after doing, for Disney, it was 5 shows a day, and for Sesame Street Live, it was 8 to 10 shows a week. I was pretty much burnt out on performing. So I got into the master's program, was a graduate teaching assistant, and loved that dynamic. Graduated with my master's in choreography, and realized that I didn't know enough to teach the way I wanted to teach. I had been, prior to the Disney and Sesame Street, had been in some pretty toxic ballet environments, and I knew I didn't want to go the traditional ballet master route. But I really didn't know what kind of a teacher I wanted to be, and that's when the doctorate came in. I went and studied the doctorate, and all of the introduction to feminist pedagogy blew my mind. Feminist studies, that's where I went, oh, here's all of the information I need to be a good teacher, to be the kind of ballet teacher I want to be.
And what inspires your teaching, in classes now? What do you want your students to remember, to learn specifically? What's your daily lesson?
Love. The love of ballet, and the love of themselves. dancing, ballet can be such a negative environment where where body type is everything. And I've come into a couple situations, and Palomar was no different, where there was a tradition of what we consider a ballet master mentality, meaning there's someone standing up who has all the knowledge, and if you do not match up, then you're not worthy of the education. And I just think that's a bunch of crap. I think that, you know, or the ideal body type, if you don't have the ideal body type, you can't learn. Well, that just means you're a lousy teacher. So I want the dancers to come out with an agency of themselves dancing and the ability to be in a classroom environment and say, you know what, this doesn't work for my body, and to make those intelligent choices for themselves. So I want them to be thinking dancers. I love smart dancers, and I love dancers who ask questions and who aren't afraid to say, why are we doing this? Because I have an answer, and if I don't have an answer, I'll probably assign it as an extra credit question and ask them to look it up and get back to me.
Is that kind of how you transition from like your classroom lecture, like dance history, and bring that into the actual?
Oh, I'm such a history nerd. I'm such a history nerd, and I think it's so important that people know where we come from. And the idea that you have to know what the history is to be able to say, I'm either accepting or rejecting it, and I'm moving beyond it. So I love to bring those nuggets into class so the students have an idea of the difference between the romantic sensibility and the classic sense of line and all of that.
And then, and speaking of like classic ballet and the history, what is your opinion of ballet today and how it's being portrayed in the media? Black Swan, super popular, which I don't even know if ballet was like this.
Oh, first of all, I love the idea of Black Swan because you have ballet that's being introduced in a psychosexual thriller. Love that ballet can expand that particular genre of film. I think it dives into the negativity and a little stereotypically, but it is true. The ballet environment can be really toxic, and it really captures that. But I love it when ballet pushes against borders, and I think Black Swan did exactly that. Atlanta Ballet just collaborated with Big Boy and Outkast, a rap artist, and I guess it wouldn't be rap, it would be hip hop. I think I just offended him. But this hip hop artist, Atlanta Ballet, is collaborating with a hip hop artist to make a work. So they're expanding where ballet is trying to find a voice that isn't so, I guess, gentrified. And I love it when it does that. And I think that's what Black Swan has done. Yes, it portrays this very gentrified art form, but in a manner that is acceptable to the everyman. And probably it's going to up enrollment in ballet. I don't know if it's going to do much for male dancers in ballet, but certainly there's a bunch of teenage girls that, are attracted to the dark that are going, ooh, ballet can be that? So.
And I mean, I can say that I've noticed that just in this class. I've been taking classes here for quite a while, and this semester, whether they stick around or not, this semester, I mean, there's a lot of people in class. Your enrollment was really high. I mean, do you expect that for the summer as well, or do you expect that to be a trend for?
Our dear administration, don't get me started, has decided the most effective way to cut back is to cut offerings for students that actually pay for their classes, and the reason we are here is because of the students. So let's just take away what we offer the students and not the administration isn't taking any cuts. So, okay, I went there, I'm sorry. But the enrollment trends, I'm not sure, is based on popular media. I think the enrollment trends we're really seeing is because of the economy. So that's unfortunate because, the minute the economy gets better, students are going to start going into the workplace. And the minute that happens, then our classes, our enrollment aren't going to be as large. I love the big enrollments. I just wish people could find jobs.